I remember like it was yesterday, and we had the party in New Close, sandwiches, jelly and cakes and ice cream and lemonade.
We had bunting put up and we had trestles in the road. Everybody brought some sort of food onto the table.
And one thing that I've always wondered about since then is, where did all the tables come from? Because it was right down the road. It was massive. And we all had paper hats and balloons. And there was food that I'd never seen before. I remember that. I wasn't too happy with the taste of the banana.
You dressed up as something, and it was amazing the number of clothes that came out, Red Indians and goodness knows what, cowboys.
And we had a fancy dress competition. My mother was very good at sewing and she made me a beautiful costume. I was Miss America. I had a top that was blue with white stars on, and the skirt was red and white stripes. And I had a little hat that said USA on it. And I won second prize. I thought I should have won first prize because I looked really good.
Well, because my father was a doctor, he had a petrol ration, but he had to keep to a certain route. But on VE Day, at the local playing field, they had celebrations, and we went in the car off the route. Oh, it was a big, big treat.
I remember my dad coming home from war. We made a poster to go on the front door like everybody did.
I can remember my mother telling us her dad's coming home. And I can remember on the day he was coming home, hiding under the kitchen table because I was frightened. I was very wary of him.
Dad went. I didn't know him when he came home and I didn't like him. And he put that foot down. I said, but Mum said so-and-so. Doesn't matter what your mother said, I'm telling you. Boom.
Your dad came home, he came back from Burma. He'd been in the army 6 years. And I'd heard that he was home. So we was walking past the greyhound and he came out and we both recognised one another instantly. He said, that's him. And I said, hello, Dad, how are you? And that's the first time we'd spoken for 6 years. He was good, Dad.
They said to him, Dad, could you wear your uniform for the day? He said, I've worn it 6 years, I'm not wearing it anymore.
Everybody was playing games, singing and dancing, cheering, and we all said, God save the King. Then we were allowed to go out in the street for the first time to play. We weren't allowed otherwise, because in case the bombs were coming down.
From what our parents told us about VE Day, we accompanied them to a celebration service in St Paul's Cathedral, London. On returning home, the road was asleep, so our parents went from house to house to start a party. Everybody piled their blackout frames onto the concrete road. Our next door neighbour had his piano wheeled out into the road, and families contributed food and drink. My lasting memory of VE Day is looking down from my small bedroom bay window onto a roaring fire of burning blackout frames in the road, with a piano nearby.
And there were fireworks for the first time ever. The boy next door, he had long trousers on, and someone lit a jumping jack, which they used to have, and it went up his trouser leg and burnt all his leg.
Well, it was a great relief because by then I was 17, was beginning to get near conscription age. I think I had to sign up for it already, so I was relieved that at least I wouldn't go into fight if I got called up.
And I mean, people were celebrating and everyone was so happy. That was the thing. They weren't frightened going to bed all the time in case the sirens went.
People did not know from one breath to the next what was in store. You just all held together as best you could.
After the war, there was lots of people never came home. They got caught in the Blitz and things like that. But as a kid, you never took a lot of notice of it. You sort of brushed it off as part of life, I think, growing up with it like we did.